on top of the world, about to jump above it. Take it straight to the moon, 'cause we know how to rock it. Ain't no thing you can do, ain't no way to stop it. Now you're feeling it too, let's get it started. Throw your hands in the air while the beat is dropping. Acting like you don't care when everybody's watching. Just keep whipping your hair like that, you got it. Yeah, you're feeling it too, let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Charts off the meter, turn it up, blow the speakers, make them all to believers. Break through the surface, tell them open the curtains, give them all what they wanted, yeah. Now let's get started. Let's get it, get it. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. I'm ready. Are you ready, ready? I'm ready. Let's get it started. Yeah, yeah, I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Let's go. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it, get it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Give me something new. Time to break it loose. Take it to another level. Now we on the move. Shout if you coming with me. Going over the limit. On your mark, keep it steady. So tell me, are you ready? I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Maine Sim Racing Series here tonight, presented by Mainly Ductless Heating and Air. It is the last Super Late Models race on Wednesday night, and it is here at New Hampshire for that of the Beach Ridge Barbershop. And we are excited to be giving you all the coverage on LSRTV. This is going to be 175 laps here tonight. Usually I've got John Mushton Jr. with me in the booth, but we've got a newcomer joining me. My name is Sam Dyer. We've got that of Zach Taylor with me. Zach, first time watching these drivers, got to talk to you a little bit. This is a car that you're very familiar with, super late models here at New Hampshire. What are you expecting for these drivers here tonight?
Expecting very challenging conditions. Obviously, a worn-out racetrack going to make those cars a little bit slidey. We're definitely going to slide around the corners a little bit and look forward to 75 intense laps around Loudon tonight.
75 laps again. This is the last race of the Wednesday nights for the super late models. We've had ourselves a total of 4 races before this, at that of Myrtle Beach, Hickory, that of Irwindale, and the last race that of North Wilkesboro, which North Wilkesboro, sparks flying, purposefully wrecking drivers happening, which means one of our drivers will not be here. That of Matthew, that of Burgoyne will not be here because of purposely trying to wreck that of Max Cookson. So we will not be seeing that 38 machine on track here tonight. But there are still some heavy hitters that are going to be racing here tonight. We got Devin Landry, Max Cookson's here, Corey Bubar. But the 2 drivers that we will keep our eyes on is Devin Landry and that of Ashton Burgess, as we haven't talked about the points that much this season, but Devin Landry is leading the points by just over that of 39 points. It's a big enough gap for all that Devin Landry has to do is just finish inside of our top 15, and he will clinch that championship. But if he finishes outside of the top 15, it will give an opportunity for that of Ashton Burgess in the 34. All that Ashton Burgess' goal here tonight is win here at that of New Hampshire. If he does that, still has an opportunity to win the championship. But again, it is all reliant on if Devin Landry finishes outside of the top 15. But currently the drivers are having practice on track. You can see all the spills going around as drivers are spinning around. They've got themselves finishing up practice with just that of 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Then they're going to be having 2 laps of qualifying where they're going to be testing to see who can be in our top 20 automatically qualified to our featured race. And if needed, if we have 26 drivers or less, we will not have to do this, but there will be an LCQ to see who will be making our 75-lap featured race here tonight for that of the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75 here. And Zach, we're seeing drivers slipping and sliding out of the corner. These super late models got a lot of power, but man, it just seems like the drivers, they've got a handful to deal with here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. Those back tires are not liking them right now. They're screaming, "Help me, help me!" down there. They're not hooking up with that racetrack at all. It's going to be a slidey night. You know, I'm expecting to see a bunch of slipping off the corners. Tonight's winner is going to be about who can get off the corner the best. You know, who's going to be able to get down that straightaway and into turn 3 or turn 1 the fastest time after time again.
Another factor we're going to be watching out that could be also helping with that, a lot of that slipping and sliding. We'll take a look at it here. Is our weather conditions. As you see that of our air temp, ambient temperature going to be 81 degrees Fahrenheit. A slight breeze at 75 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy. That's going to be helping out with the track temp. But Zach, 94 degrees on that track temp. It is hot, and that's another reason why we're seeing these drivers slipping and sliding.
Hot, hot, hot. Very hot, and you know that's just bringing those back tires even hotter lap after lap. So as I was saying earlier, you know, if you can keep your back tires cool, you're going to be looking pretty good tonight.
And again, these drivers going to be trying to attack here at New Hampshire. New Hampshire going to be that of a mile in length. And what's so interesting, Zach, you kind of touch on it a little bit more, but this track, very unique to some of the other short tracks that we've seen that have had a lot more banking to work with here at New Hampshire. As we can see, not as much banking for these drivers to rely on.
No, I think New Hampshire here, I believe I think it's 9-10 degrees of banking here. So you got to kind of imagine a Martinsville. It's a big Martinsville. You know, we're at a bigger version of Martinsville. So obviously, again, touching back on what we were talking about earlier, those back tires. Martinsville's all about your drop off down the corners, powering down into the corners. Same thing here. You know, get off your corners and you're fine. That low banking, it's weird because it's like Martinsville, you expect for it to be one groove around the bottom. Here you've got a couple, about 2-3 different grooves you can run. You can run that bottom and get a really good entry in middle, but not so great on exit. Or you can run a little bit higher, pinch a guy in the bottom below of you, pinch him down a little bit too low, give him a little sideways, and you're 3-4 miles per hour faster down a straightaway. So multi-groove racetrack tonight, multiple ways to pass. Don't expect to see a lot of contact, but I'm sure we'll see a little bit of it as we got qualifying going on here.
Qualifying now underway. Going to be seeing that of Nathan Barth going to be hitting the track first for the 37, as he's going to be running that of the Beach Ridge Barbershop machine. And going to be coming out of the corner starting the 37's time, and going to be seeing how these drivers want to attack qualifying. Will it be the inside going all the way down, or will they be moving up a groove or two to find a little bit more grip? As we see just about a lane above that yellow line, now a little bit higher through the apex. Here comes Barth out of turn number 2. One of these drivers that's trying to continue with the great run. Nathan Barth comes in 3rd in points, been consistently showing up to these races, and a driver that we should keep our eyes on to try to go for a top 5 finish here tonight. And you never know, might surprise us with some extra speed as we come across the line. Nathan Barth's first time going to be under 30 seconds. Good pace for the 37, going to be a 29.936 for his first lap.
Man, that was a very good looking lap. You know, not much room for improvement there. Maybe a 29.8's possible if he can pull his exit in 4 here a little bit lower. We'll see what he does. He goes in middle, runs a little bit higher, gets his 2 rights above that second hash mark line all the way off. Yeah, 3 and 4 look better that time. What is it? Yeah.
Well, a little bit better, and did hit that 29.8 for himself. Going to be 3rd on the board, but the driver that we've got to watch out for did not put in too much practice time, but it's already slotted through the corner. It's Max Cookson, who has won in this series before, won back at that of Myrtle Beach, and we'll see if 39 get a little bit more speed. But Zach, you can see Max Cookson is on it. He is willing to throw it down, and here he comes, starting off his second time. First lap, not too fast, but he's got a lot of room to improve.
Yeah, that big side off of turn 4 made him look like a World of Outlaws driver out there. Or off of turn 2 there. It was big slide. That obviously cost him 4 or 5 tenths. So we may see another 29.8 here if he can hold that sliding to a minimum. He enters slow.
He's just letting it coast for now. And coming out of turn number 4, here comes Max Cookson out of the corner. Gonna be a 29.6. We'll see what the actual time's gonna be as it updates in 29.685. Taking the pole position is Max Cookson. And now moving up to the driver that is 4th in points coming into the night, Kyle Mooney, who's had to really work his way through the LCQ practically almost every single race. We'll see if he's found any extra speed here to get a better qualifying run, because once it's race time, Kyle Mooney's found that race pace and consistency of saving the tires. But here we come, starting his first lap. Kyle Mooney, that is a very decent time for himself. Coming across the line, it's going to be a 29.959. Good enough for that a 6th on the board.
Definitely a very good first lap. As we've seen here with the first 2 drivers out in qualifying, we've had second lap's been better, so let's see what he can do right here. That's his tires getting up to temperature, a little bit more grip on your second lap, you're more up to speed. Probably going to be a 29.8 right here. We'll wait and see what he does come across the line. Had a really good 3 and 4. 29.943 is what it looks like.
A little bit faster, still going to be 6th on the board as qualifying is now coming to a conclusion here. We'll wait and see, as I believe we have 20 drivers that are going to be racing here tonight. So we'll see if LCQ is going to be moved along. It looks like that will be the case for these drivers. LCQ will be pushed, but as you can see, grid is placed at the moment. We're going to let this just cycle through, and since we're waiting, Zach, this gives us time to talk about qualifying. I mean, we saw some very quick times for ourselves. I mean, what was some of the aspects from qualifying that kind of surprised you?
I was surprised about how much grip these cars actually have, especially there on lap 2 and the different lines. I was expecting for anybody to be above the second hash mark. So, you know, we saw, I believe it was Max Cookson, our pole sitter. He put his tires up there above that second hash mark on the through the corner. So that may be a really fast line tonight, and if that's the case, we may have 3 possible lines to run tonight. Just going to be something we're going to have to really watch, and as it develops here throughout the heat, and I expect if that's the case, we'll have some really good racing here in the future.
And we are just getting a report in. Nathan Barth needed to get that of the pole position to get bonus points for a chance to take the championship from Devin Landry. Did not get the pole, was Nathan Barth. So officially, before the race has even started, we can already crown a champion. It is Devin Landry taking the Wednesday night Maine Sim Racing Series presented by Mainly Ductless and Heating, that of the Super Late Models Wednesday night regular season championship. Congratulations to Devin Landry. Now it's kind of just a victory lap here for this featured event. Congratulations again to that whole entire team, as Devin Landry has been so consistent all real season long. He's finished in the top 3 practically every single race, so it's no surprise he's been able to steal it away. And Zach, I know this is only your first race watching these drivers, but you get to see your glimpse of what Devin Landry is once we get going green here. Again, waiting for the LCQ, as we are not needing to take this. We're waiting for the LCQ to pass on. That's why we're waiting right here. It says on our ticker pacing, but it will be transitioning soon to a warm-up for these drivers. And since we're still waiting here, it gives us time to shout out all the amazing sponsors that allow the Maine Sim Racing Series to happen, and going to be starting things off with that of B&S Scrap Recycling, as well at that of Bruce Carpentry, that of Caltier Carpentry for BCC, and also for today's race sponsor, that of Beach Ridge Barbershop, that of Crescent Lumber, J&K Fuel, that of Ductless Heating and Air, and as well that of 4-Tier Graphics and Wiscasset Speedway. Thank you to all the amazing sponsors that allow us to be covering this amazing series, the Maine Sim Racing Series, here tonight on Wednesdays and on Saturdays. Again, there's still a lot of racing to be coming for these drivers, as the next event after tonight is going to be Saturday, February 19th, where the drivers are going to be racing in the Daytona 500K, where the drivers are going to be running 125 laps in the Cup car. There's been a lot of Daytona ran here on LSRTV, as currently we are having Speed Week on LSRTV. More racing action. We got 2 races tomorrow night. ARCA at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then also right after that is going to be the drivers racing in trucks, both going to be at Daytona. And then we've got ourselves 5 races. I count them again, 5 races Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going all the way until that of 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we've also got a race on Sunday, and as well finishing off Speed Week, going to be next Wednesday night, where the driver's going to be hitting the track and having a grand old time. But Zach, here tonight we got short track racing, super late models at New Hampshire. We haven't seen them truly racing yet. Again, we are still waiting for the LCQ to be ran through and finished off with us passing. Then we got a warm-up for the drivers, then our featured race. What are some things, though, that you're expecting to see these drivers put on here as we're getting ready for our featured race?
Really, I'm expecting a bunch of 3 wide, 4 wide. May see 4 wide eventually some point tonight. Hey, get a late race restart. May see 5 wide. You know, hey, last race of the season. Points doesn't matter. We already got our champion crown. We're racing for fun tonight. Bragging rights. You know, who gets to win here at New Hampshire? So let's just have a good time tonight and, you know, enjoy an exciting race. As I'm sure it'll be one. You know, watch probably a lot of beating and banging around these guys. You know, super late models, super endurable. So, or super durable. So, I don't know, man. Just time to sit back and enjoy as we pull the belts tight.
Going to be pulling them tight as our LCQ has officially passed on. We are now getting ready for our warm-up session for these drivers. They're going to have 3 minutes to hit the track and get themselves situated and ready for racing here. In this time, so important because we just had that such long period of only doing qualifying, then sitting for a bit. This is the time for these drivers to get their last little jitters out before we get ready for race time. So for these drivers, they're going to go for a warm-up. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we get prepared for racing action here for the Maine Sim Racing Series presented by mainly Ductless and Heating and Air for the last race on Wednesday for the super late models.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it?
They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is Loudon, New Hampshire. The drivers are finishing off warm-ups currently right now, as this is the Maine Sim Racing Series presented by mainly Ductless Heating and Air for the last super late models on Wednesday night, as this race is for that of the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75. As the drivers got through qualifying, now finishing up warm-ups. We have already know who our champion of Wednesday night Super Late Model Racing action is. Devin Landry, congratulations for the 82 team, has been crowned our champion just after the points that were not grabbed during qualifying for that of Nathan Barth. It now officially gives us our champion before the green is even hit, which means for these drivers, they're racing for fun, they're racing for glory. It is all about the win at this point. It's not about points, it is about the win. We'll see how these drivers can attack as warm-up is getting concluded. These drivers have already done practice. They've done qualifying. They just finished up warm-ups, and that means it is race time here at Loudon for this of the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75. As the drivers are all logging in, it's allowed us to take a look at who's going to be starting where for your Team 126 Racing starting grid. Getting your pole position is going to be that of Max Cookson, going to be in this 39 machine in the pole position with Devin Landry to his outside. Row number 2, going to be finding that of Corey Fubar in the 12, with that of Ashton Burgess in the 34. Row number 3, going to be finding that of Nathan Barth in 37, with Kyle Mooney going to be to his outside in that 6th position. Row number 4 finds that of Chris Fortier in the 23, as well as Tyler Jordan in the 29. Finishing out row number 5. In your top 10, it's going to be that, it looks like reverting through, we're quickly going forward back to row 4. Got that of Chris Fortier and Tyler Jordan. And then in row number 5, we'll see if we can move that way. We do. Hey, look, it's going to be that of the 43, Logan Blanchard, as well as Ed Conley in the 11, finishing out our top 10. In this row number 6, we got that of Derek Currett, as well as Trevor Graffam in the 3. Row number 7 is going to be finding that of Ben Burgess, as well as Tyler Conley in the 31. And finishing out row number 8, it's going to be that of David Greenleaf and that of Brian Treadwell. Then we're finishing out in row number 9. We've got that of Jacob Heathcock, as well as Chris York. And finishing out our final drivers here, going to be that of Dan DeSanto, as well as Matthew Murphy. A couple of drivers going to be getting EOLs here tonight. That going to be Max Cookson and Devin Landry, both going to be given EOLs, so they're headed all the way to the back, which the drivers have been given another extra lap of pacing, so we don't go green too soon here. So we're going to be having our front 2 going to the back. So now our new front 2 is going to be that of Corey Bubar and Ashton Burgess. Going to be for the 12 and 34. They would love to get this qualifying position, and this is going to be making today's race so much more interesting. 75 laps here at New Hampshire, and our fastest drivers are now going to be all the way in the back. They got to cut and carve their way forward. Who's going to be the lead driver of those two? Or will they have to carve their way through just side by side, going 3 wide, 4 wide at moments? We'll figure it out. As the pace car lights are off, we're going this time by. Again, this is the Maine Sim Racing Series presented by that of mainly Ductless Heating and Air for this of the last race for Wednesday night for that of the super late models for that of Wednesday night racing. This is the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75. Getting ready on the back stretch. We've lost contact to that of Zach Taylor. Hopefully he'll get back in here. As instead, we've got other short track native who also is going to be running productions. We got that of Charles Wooten who's going to be joining me. Charles, hey, we're getting ready for short track racing for 75 laps.
Yeah, short track racing, obviously I'm very familiar with, as you just stated, whether it's dirt, asphalt, doesn't matter. I like it. I've been around it all my life. And yeah, Cookson volunteered to take an EOL. Landry had to because he won last week. But this is going to be interesting to see those two coming to the front.
We're excited to see how they're going to carve their way through, but up front again, it's going to be Ashton Burgess on the outside, that of Corey Bubar to the inside, and already Burgess taking the lead, and you see the X machine moving on, but it's going to be Mooney absolutely spinning around, dual sequence. It's the 90, it's going to be the 90, the 22, and already hard contact for drivers immediately up front, showing the difficulty of New Hampshire, and Charles, just in a blink of an eye, already having damage for some front runners.
As we go to the caution here, I believe we might have Zach back with us. I heard his voice. I believe the power went out where he was at. Seems to be the trend going on around here lately. But while he gets all set up, you can see right here, just a little contact like you mentioned and some wheel hopping there, trying to go over the wall. And, well, what do you say, about 5 cars or 6 total involved in that caution?
Yeah, a lot more than we have liked, and beautiful just in sequence for the two drivers spinning, that of Kyle Mooney and also that of Tyler Jordan. Usually you see that type of sequence dance moves like when you're watching the Summer Olympics with sequence dancing, but instead, hey, it's the Winter Olympics. Let's try to keep our cars going in the right direction as drivers are spun out. A couple of machines going to be wheeling and dealing all around for themselves, as it's going to be that of Max Cookson and others going to be trying to rebound from the incidences in front of them. But, I mean, early caution lap 1, no surprise. Also, this allows us to let the audience know that the laps of caution laps do not count. So we will not be seeing any type of caution laps here tonight. And also, we now have a counter. We can tell how many laps, how many cautions we've had. But because the caution laps do not count, we will actually not know the laps amount, but we also will get a look at how many lead changes potentially here. But again, with the caution laps not counting, it kind of messes things up, so we know at least the caution lap counter works for our ticker at least.
Yeah, and I'm curious, we'll check on this a little later. We'll see if Zach is here with us as well, but I'll check on that later on tonight to see if those caution laps do add up, because we're still in lap 1. We technically haven't even completed that lap, so I'm not sure if it's 100% broken. I'm not convinced yet, Sam, so we're going to find out here in just a bit. But, yeah, we will keep an eye on those lead changes here tonight. That's the main thing there. We want to see how many lead changes we have throughout this 75-lap race.
We will see that for sure, as we'll give you Zach a call. Hey, Zach, are you there? Are we good now?
We are back.
Oh, we're good. We're back. Okay.
Back and running off the generator.
We're at least happy that you came back. We know power going out has been kind of a usual thing going on recently through LSRTV, where everyone, yes, we are everywhere in every parts of, it seems like, the country, sometimes even nations, it feels like, crossing all over the place. But hey, Zach, we've only had one yellow come out. It's on lap 1. And now the drivers, they're about to get stacked up and ready to go once they come across the line, giving us the 1 to go sign. But hey, our 2 fastest drivers will be starting. They had to start in the back. They're going to have to carve their way moving forward. That being Max Cookson as well as Devin Landry. They're going to have to do a lot of work to get back up front, as they're going to be mired in the middle of the field back in 11th and also that is 12th place. So they've got some work to do, but they've shown that they've got the speed to get moving.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting thing to watch as they battle up through the field here. That'll be quite entertaining, seeing how they can get around these guys. You know, hey, guys in front of you, they may be slower than you, but that doesn't mean they're going to move out of your way.
No, it does not mean that at all, as up front, it's going to be that of Corey Bubar, Ashton Burgess, Ed Conley, Chris Fortier, as well as Tyler Conley, going to be your front 5, getting ready to go green here. Ashton Burgess, Corey Bubar, 2 drivers that are notoriously known for being up in the top 5. And it's been Ashton Burgess that's been kind of struggling to have some great finishes. We'll see if he can get a great finish here, as pace car is getting ready to pull off. And we're going to be trying to attempt number 2 at this restart. Corey Bubar, Ashton Burgess, they're ready to get going. It's the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75, and we are green once again. Corey Bubar's going to be getting the better launch on the outside, a little bit of a stack up behind them, but here comes the X of that of Ashton Burgess to the inside.
As they work through 1 and 2 here, it's going to be side by side for the race lead off of turn 2. Ashton Burgess inside, Bubar on the outside, all the way down into 3.
You can already see a lot of scattering even further back. New Hampshire, one of the biggest tracks these drivers have ran all season long. A mile in length. Everything else they've ran has been a quarter to a half a mile in length for them. As you can see already, Max Cookson carving his way through up to 7th as he sees, and there's Ben Burgess, who spun the wrong way, teleports and takes the toe to pit road. We stay green. But an incident for the 7 machine. We might be able to have time to take a look back at that later. But for right now, it's all Max Cookson and others moving forward, slicing and dicing. It's that of Devin Landry, Cookson. They're trying to find their way moving forward. You see the white machine in front of that of Landry. It's going to be a couple of drivers having to watch out as the Tyler Jordan just cutting off. That was Matthew Murphy, who had to ho-ho back as the 22 just gave no regard to the drivers around him.
That car almost ended up over in Canada, about 50 to 100 miles west of us here. they were going through the wall, and it's amazing that they saved that off of 4.
Absolutely incredible as they keep on holding on. We still watch Tyler Jordan, that of Kyle Mooney, who was spun in our first accident, that of Chris Fortier in the 23. Jordan in the 22, still pounding and pressuring, but like we noted on, that rear grip of trying to get back into the throttle, that's where Jordan's trying to find that extra speed and finally gets it. Slide job move, but here comes the 90 to the inside.
And as soon as he said, oh boy, I'm clear, nope, 90 car said, not quite yet. He's going to get clear here in the 3, pressure off. Not quite. 90 car back to the inside.
Also saw a driver get into the outside wall further back on the backstretch as we continue to watch that of Mooney. And Jordan,
Whoa!
Mooney gets loose, holds on, gets contact, Murphy hits him,
no.
and our second yellow comes out as Kyle Mooney able to put it to a park. It was going to give him no on the backstretch. Saw the 3, Trevor Graffam, get into the outside wall, a little bit of unself-awareness. As here's our second instant replay of Pulse Poppers. And it's just getting loose. Back into the throttle, Zach. Like we noted on at the top of the broadcast, something to watch out in. Kyle Mooney finds himself being spun around for the second caution in a row.
Yeah, overcorrection, a little bit more overcorrection. Then he, like number 1 there, I think it was the number 1, did not do very many favors not checking up there. So 90 car, just bad timing, bad place to spin at. Not much anything to do.
No, really, there wasn't much at all as the drivers come across the line and getting themselves reset and ready for this next restart. Second caution of the night, 6 laps in. Not much of a, long green flag run, but enough green flag racing for us to keep the action every single lap. Up front, though, still Corey Bubar with Ashton Burgess, Ed Conley, but it's Max Cookson who went all the way to the back, volunteered to do so. And now the 39 already up to 4th. Our pulsator machine showing, hey, this traffic isn't too hard to cut his way through if you're fast enough.
No, and that's part of that multi-groove racing that we were talking about earlier. Hey, I mentioned you can have 3 different lines the way it's looking, and I think he used all 3 to perfection there. Probably picked one off on the bottom. Okay, I'm going to go to the top now, and then back to the middle. And he's probably ran every line on this racetrack now. He knows how his car is handling. Hopefully he took care of those back tires to where here in 20 laps we don't see him falling back to the back again. And, I expect to see that 12 car up here a lot tonight.
Absolutely able to, and expecting it, as getting the lucky dog spot's going to be the 43 of Logan Melcher, who is one of the drivers that has actually had to come into pit road to get damage repair. Now, we didn't note on this, but drivers do not have a fast repair to work with here tonight. So if you get any type of damage that feels like it's going to be slowing you down, have to come into pit road to do so. And Melcher came in during our first yellow of the night. Kyle Mooney has just come in to get repairs done. Ben Burgess still in pit road getting himself repairs after taking the tow. And from our first accident of the day, we also had the 58 of David Greenleaf, Brian Treadwell, as well as Trevor Graffam and Tyler Jordan all come in to get repairs done for their vehicles. So for those drivers that are heavily damaged, we've seen Tyler Jordan be the biggest mover of those, who was all the way back on 17th on that last restart. It's been able to, carve his way up to that of 8th, so still doing a great, up to 9th for the 22 machine. So been seeing these drivers, even with damage, still be able to attack and have some great runs. But Zach, I would say with this track being a mile in length, especially with the super late models, you aren't wanting damage here at that of New Hampshire. No,
definitely not. Think of it as a Daytona for these cars. Tonight's very, very, very here in New Hampshire. It's going to be very aero-dependent, long straightaways. You don't want anything that's going to be obstructing that airflow over the car. These things are, whenever they're built, they're so aerodynamically fundamental that any kind of damage, any kind of obscurities to that airflow over top of the car, or underneath the car, or to the side of the car can make a huge difference in handling. You can lose a lot of speed down a straightaway. So it's like a big parachute if you get anything obstructing that.
As drivers getting ready to go, again, we noted on weather earlier in the broadcast during practice and qualifying and how hot and slick it was. That's going to be a thing we're going to be watching out throughout tonight because of the fact that it was mostly cloudy. We'll see how much that track temp cools off. 81 is still the ambient temperature. 8 degrees wind with the track temp being 91. Still very hot, Zach, but at least it's going in the right direction, cooling off for these drivers.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just a couple degrees there makes a huge difference.
Well, drivers getting stacked up, ready to go. Again, it's going to be Corey Bubar, Ashton Burgess going to be your front two. Max Cookson, Ned Conley going to be row number 2 with Devin Landry. And that of Dominic Kirk going to be finishing out row number 3. A little bit of peekaboo action for the 34X machine of Ashton Burgess. We'll see if we can clean that up because it is time to go green. We're green once again for this at the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75. And already seeing our front drivers getting a great launch for themselves. A little bit of wheel spin further back, but side by side is going to be that of Bubar and Max Cookson. And Cookson's already trying to take that lead position coming out of turn number 2.
All the way down the back stretch here. We got him sideways. Oh, what a block for third place. That doesn't work out. He drives it in deep there at 12th car, or 02. 34 car drives it in deep. As we come up off turn 4 here, side by side for second.
12 machine, that of Corey Bubar on the outside, able to hold on, almost got into the outside wall. It's going to be Devin Landry, Max Cookson, both drivers at a start in last place at the beginning of this race. Now your front two after 8 laps of green flag racing. After 2 cautions, they're back to where they feel most comfortable, and they are taking off as further back, yellow flag waves. It's the 11 and the 17 having issues.
17 car hit the tires there. We'll see what kind of damage that does to his front nose clip. Just getting this replay here.
See the drivers going to be on top of one another. They're going to be coming out of the corner just hard racing, and the driver that we're going to be seeing going out of control. Just nowhere to go for these drivers further back. That's going to be Matthew Murphy we see just going into the tires, and then everyone else also scattering, and a couple of drivers over the radio even saying, hey, that might be my night.
It looked like somebody in front of them was spinning well before the 17 car got there.
Let's take another look. This is going to be from Grapham, and see the driver going to be slow down. That's the 11, Ed Conley, who's going to be slow, and that's what everyone was reacting to.
There's nowhere to go. Turn into a parking lot.
7 drivers in pit road getting service done now. It's going to be Ed Conley coming in, as well as Grapham, Melcher, DeSanto, Matthew Murphy, the 17. But it's going to be Trevor Grapham, going to be officially our first DNF of the day. There's a 3. Too much damage has been occurred, and just does not feel like putting in the time to get even more damage repaired for that 3.
It's understandable. It can be very frustrating, especially in just what seems to be an exhibition race tonight, to come out here and just, don't really feel like chasing damage all night. So understandable to put your car behind the wall, get ready, load it up, go back to Charlotte, and get ready for next season. Hopefully we'll see all these guys come back stronger than ever.
So what we're hoping to see is this season is coming to a conclusion, not counting tonight. 4 more races to go. Again, Saturday on that of February 19th, going to be the Daytona 500K. And then also Wednesday is going to be on the February 23rd. It's going to be our last Wednesday race. They're going to be the late models for 125 laps at South Boston. Finishing out the Saturday events, going to be 2 Saturdays, that of March 5th. It's going to be seeing the super late models at 5 flags for 150 laps, and then the season finale for that of March 12th, Saturday. It's going to be the Oxford 250 at Oxford for the super late models. It is going to be heat racing, LCQ, consolation racing, and a 250 lap featured race. As you see the field having a little bit of fun here under our 3rd caution of the day. Going through the road course configuration here in New Hampshire. And why not have a little bit of fun? I mean, you're not going to get penalized for doing those little shenanigans. And it keeps, pace laps a little bit more lively, as you had more pace laps than actual green flag racing so far.
Yeah, that's just one of those things. If hey, let's have a little bit of fun, ain't much else to do. We're doing 45, done 45 the last 20-some laps. Let's just do a little 50 here down the road course here. See how these things turn going right.
Yeah, how much space is there? If I somehow get loose or get put in a bad spot, where do I need to place myself as? Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication. Cookson wants the outside. Landry not sure. And these two drivers, Zach, I know you haven't been watching them, but they've had a nice rivalry going on. Devin Landry and the 82 on the inside, Max Cookson on the 39, and also Matthew Burgoyne, who again got suspended, was not able to race here tonight. Those three drivers have been beating and banging off one another all season long in the late models and the super late models. So it doesn't surprise me that every once in a while under yellow, they find themselves beating and banging and just ruffling each other's feathers as we're getting ready to go green here. As these drivers set up, they're stacked up. It's going to be Max Cookson, Devin Landry, Corey Bubar, Ashton Burgess. He's got that of Carrot, going to be your top 6 as their side-by-side pace car pulls off. And we are green once again here at that of the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75 with the Maine Sim Racing Series presented by Mainly Ductless Heating and Air into turn number 1. It's going to be that of Max Cookson to the outside, but don't look too far back. Still right on the quarter panel and getting a great launch. It's going to be that 82 Devin Landry, and they're still side by side as well for that of third.
And side by side in the 3, battle for the lead gets settled out. Third place does not, though, so we're going to have the side by side between the number 12 of Corey Bubar and the number 34 car all the way down the front stretch here.
Going to be down the front stretch. These drivers continuing to stay side by side, and they are going to beat and bang. Bubar drifts up just a little bit, and Zach, that entry is going to be so important as well. A little bit of beating and banging even further back for around that of 8th place where Jordan and others lie as the driver gets extremely loose. That's the 17 of Murphy losing ground.
That was a major save back there by 17. Saved us another 5 laps of caution there.
Now still up front, Max Cookson pulling away.
And Max is gone. He's saying bye-bye. See y'all later. As the 82 here is going to say, no, not so fast. Get back here. I got a little something to do.
It's right on the back bumper of Devin Landry. He's being pressured by that of Corey Bubar in the 12. Bubar keeping it close, and also Ashton Burgess going to be hounding just slightly here, but just showing how close these drivers can get at the entry of these corners. 11 laps in, and are now going to be seeing Max Cookson start of lap 12, pulling away over a half a second, and it's Devin Landry. I mean, these drivers here, Zach, I mean, it's still a long race, but when will you think the tires start to kick in for that of Cookson and Landry, who, again, had to carve their way through from last place up to the lead as we watch the battling back here for the 31 and also for that of the 23 for 9th?
I don't know. Probably lap 20, 22. We'll probably see a little bit of tire fall off here, and we'll see who's managed theirs the best. I expect for these guys to be yelling tires, tires, tires by lap 35, though. They'll be screaming to put some four fresh Mr. Good wheels, or 4 fresh Mr. Good gears on there.
Yeah, and these drivers do have 1 extra set in pit road, so that might be when we start to see that as the driver gets loose out of the way and might be bringing out a yellow, and it does. Backstretch issues. It's the 58 of Devin Greenleaf that saw for a little glimpse. Saw a white car go extremely low into the grass at the corner of our screen. And he's going to be bringing out another yellow here for our Pulse Poppers instant replay, all by his lonesome. But even when you're alone, these cars are so difficult to handle, and it's either gets loose out of 4, continue trying to save it, and just loops around. Luckily didn't hit anything, but bringing out another caution for these drivers.
We'll run 5 or 6 under caution here, just to see how it, see if any of these guys will take the option to pit here. I don't think any of them will go ahead and take 4, as 39 cars going a little dirt tracking down here in 3 and 4, mowing the grass. We'll send the bill.
I mean, we're already under yellow. Let's check out and see how mowing the grass went for Max Cookson, who had just had fun through the road course and said, you know what, there's grass, there's dirt, let's go have fun down there. Just yanks the steering wheel over a little bit too far into the grass, and then realizes, oh, that's way slicker than I would want to be in. Let's get back on the racing surface.
A possible texting and driving situation right there. Had no possible drinking a cup of coffee. Got a little Talladega Nights out there going into 3. Still hot tea on it going into 3.
As this is caution number 4, we love the fact that we now have our caution information. Again, because caution laps do not count, the caution laps will not be added, but all you need to do is just times 5, and boom, we know how many caution laps we're going to be running for this race, as those laps do not get pushed. Only one lead change, that was when Max Cookson was able to come by and pass that of Corey Bubar for the lead. Ever since then, it has just been simply the 39 leading these first handful of laps for himself. But 13 laps in here, Zach, still a lot of racing to go, but we have gotten a little bit of green flag runs. Anything surprising you, or has this been looking pretty predictable for yourself?
We expected to see a little bit of excitement tonight. I didn't expect to have 4 cautions to 13 laps, but it is perfectly okay here. We have seen 13 laps of green flag racing compared to the 20 at caution, so that's about equal, kind of what we expected for tonight. So, you know, we see our front runners here, the 39 car, and the and Landry up there. Obviously, Landry, your season champion. We knew he was going to be up front 39 car. He surprised me a little bit, but I'm glad to see him up here as well. Obviously, he's won in the series before of that of Myrtle Beach. And, hey, a lot of racing to go. I'm not going to count Landry out, but it's going to take a lot to beat that 39 car, I believe.
Oh, it is going to take a lot for sure. Might have to take a dive bomb just immediately into this race. See Cookson putting himself on the high line. Might do a little bit of flip-flop, and it looks like that higher groove is where you want to be on these restarts, as Cookson's still playing games with the pace car, which in real life NASCAR saw similar things being done when you think back to Kyle Busch playing games with the pace car, giving it a little bit of a bump. Cookson kind of doing a similar thing here, and Cookson drives further and wants to get back up on the high side, and there's the swap once again of Landry having to go low. Zach, here the first couple of laps, first couple of restarts, we've seen the leaders take the outside lane. You liking this call so far?
I am. The outside lane seems to have a really good fire off, and if you can time it right, hey, you got your preferred line going into one. We've seen him running the top. We've seen Landry running the bottom. So that concerns me a little bit that Landry is running that lower line preferably and optionally. But as long as you can hold that top line and pull away 6/10 like we saw the prior green flag run, the top line seems to be the way to go.
We'll see how well Cookson can get a great restart here. Devin Landry is going to be in second. Corey Bubar, Ashton Burgess, and that of Dominic Carrick's going to be your front 5. Green flag out in the air. Do want to give note of drivers further back. The 58 Devin Greenleaf has parked it for the night. That's 2 DNFs so far. As lap number 14 has started into turn number 1. Landry diving it as deep as he can go. You see the 5 drifting up just slightly, but what a run. And a charge 39 gets loose out of 2.
What a save by the 39 car off at 2. He was doing everything he could to hang on to the lead there, except for hanging on to it.
Yeah, he was trying everything besides taking out that outside wall. But honestly, we're now seeing our front 4 finally single filing out. You could say now our all the way back to 7 is good, where we find that of Jordan going to be pressuring on the inside as we hop on board with this of Ashton Burgess, fourth place currently, as he's trying to figure out how to get by the 12th, Corey Bubar. And Zach, this whole entire season, it has really been Ashton Burgess, Corey Bubar. They have not figured out how to get away from one another. And once again, another race in, final race in the Super Late Models here on Wednesday night. And Ashton Burgess, Corey Bubar, they're still attached to the hip with one another.
Yeah, you get around those guys every week. You learn how to race. You learn their weak points. That may be a factor coming into the end of this one on who's going to finish third there, because I think our top 2 is pretty much settled at this point unless they get a little too racy here in the next 60-some laps.
That's the thing that we got to be concerned about. 60 laps to go, coming to that of 59. Oh, boy. Matt Burgess holds on. And you thought for sure the X was going to pull away. I think that's the big thing that's kind of surprising me. We talked about how tough it is with the rear tires trying to get back into the throttle. These saves have been incredible so far, your Zach.
That was very impressive. I mean, he had that car dead sideways looking like a World of Outlaws driver out there. You wanted the best, you got the best.
Now we're going to be seeing how well can Ashton Burgess try to rebound after the contact from himself and that of Carrick. Carrick's going to be still trying to hound. This is the battling for 4th place currently, and one of the best, closest battles so far on track, besides the battle for the lead, which those drivers are still on top of one another. see that Tyler Jordan starting to close in on the 5 as they come out of turn number 2.
These guys are sliding off of every corner, burning those rear tires up, and it's going to cost them here in the next 10 laps. I don't see that those rear tires they're yelling, they're screaming, they're saying, I'm on fire, help me, help me, help me.
I mean, that's the beauty of short track racing that we love, is the fact that that rear end constantly an unknown. If you get into the throttle too soon, how is it going to react moving forward? And right now we are seeing that rear end fishtailing it practically every single time. Out of turn number 2, we're seeing someone get out of shape, and once again, it's going to be the white 32 machine. It's going to be that one, that of Jacob Heathcloth, going to be bringing out that first fishtail. But out of 4, who's going to be the next one? Seeing that rear end just wiggle a little bit.
Yeah, and that was an impressive save there as well. Those little wiggles right there, it's making those back tires hotter and hotter, and eventually that car, you're not going to have much traction at all in the back end. As we've seen him wiggle a couple times off the corners here, he does a pretty good job there. It's just take a couple laps here, cool them back tires down, and reset and focus again.
I mean, Zach, when you're seeing a driver in front of you wiggle this much, I mean, for Tyler Jordan, at what point do you feel like you can make a pass, or do you even feel comfortable to make a pass? I mean, it seems like it's be so difficult to do so, as we see Tyler Jordan setting up how to get by that of Kerrigan as well. Here comes the 37 of Nathan Barth, who I haven't seen all race long. He's recovered after his first spill of bringing out our first yellow of the day.
Yeah, whenever I see a guy sideways like that in front of me, especially in a super late model, that's telling me, oh, he's already loose. And what's the one thing that's really common in all short tracks, and that's the bump and run. Bump and run, if you're already loose, if somebody gets your rear bumper, it's going to work successfully. So I say that's probably went through the 22's head a couple times of where, hey, he's already loose. If I just get to that left rear and give him just the slightest of nudge, he's going to get out of my way, and I'm going to go straight through on the inside, and I'm going to see the rest of the race. So obviously, with the 5 car having those back tires lit up like that, that's opening the door for that to happen.
You never know when and who is going to make that bump and run. It might be the 37 Barth, who could be thinking about making that type of a move for himself. And as we continue to see this battling again, this is all for 5th place. The 5 is going to be in 5th. That's Dominic Kirk with Tyler Jordan in 6th, trying to run down the 5 machine. And then he also got 37 for Nathan Barth, who qualified in 5th. Now going to be trying to make his surge forward. But also the closest racing on track, you can see it on our ticker, going to be for the lead currently. As we're going to be moving up there and seeing Devin Landry, Max Cookson, those drivers are on top of one another. And they have been relentless, just like what we're seeing for this 5th place battle.
We're down to 52 left to go, roughly, as the 5th place battle continues to rage on. I believe the 37 car here is going to look to the inside, backs this corner up a little bit as we go forward here, look at the 12 car. And there you see Ashton Burgess in the X, obviously an amazing save as he gets in the wall. Wow! Try to climb back there to Canada. I believe that's the second time he's almost went to Canada this race.
I mean, I saw even during practice, this has happened a couple of times where we'll see that Ashton Burgess just get up too high and just find himself right in that wall. That's happened multiple times this season where that has brought out a yellow of someone reacting to another driver trying to climb and do their best Herbie impression of trying to just wall ride it through the racetrack. But honestly, you got to be careful because we've seen also drivers having major issues of just causing the big one of drivers reacting to those drivers.
Yeah, that can cause a lot more problems than what you would expect. It's just your natural reaction. You see a car in the wall. What's the first thing you're going to do is turn left. Well, if you got somebody on your inside, you can't turn left. And so we see a battle for the race lead here. Obviously, the 02 or the 82 of Devin Landry and the 39 car here, they're going at it still.
They're still going at it, and I've been watching this for a while. This battling has been like this since the drop of this last restart. And big credit to Devin Landry. He's been looking very smooth. It's Max Cookson, though, that seems to be putting a lot of pressure, and he's been wheeling, dealing, and seeing that rear end poking out. But this might be his best opportunity to go for a pass, diving it down low, practically onto the apron. Slide job move, wasn't able to clear. We'll see Devin Landry. Can he get the better run out of the exit? And they're sliding into the wall. Goes Devin Landry.
No, Devin Landry's in the wall. He's going to lose second right here. And I have a feeling there's no love lost there.
I mean,
I'm
both drivers
sure.
were loose.
Very loose. They were, wow, that was an impressive save for neither one of them to wreck. Devin Landry continues at second place, and now, hey, here he comes. Back up. Get back up on the wheel and drive, boy, drive.
Well, I think the most impressive thing there is, yes, we saw the 82 get up into the wall, kind of wall right it slightly, but Zach, there's not a lot of damage that visibly we can see on that 82 machine. I don't think he's lost too much speed nor ground on the pace that he's putting down, so this is not over yet of that of Devin Landry's racing hopes for tonight's win. But as we have watched that amazing racing action of the 82 being hounded by Boobar, I do want to give note that of Logan Blanchard as well as that of David Green. Trevor, whoa, lap car going to be low. Actually, that's going to be Max Cookson. Slow, loose. And Cookson going to be that of wrecking himself out of the corner. Just pulling it all into the pit road.
That is possibly a meatball from that spin. That could be what made him lose, a mechanical failure. I know we don't talk about him a lot on iRacing, but I do believe they're a thing, and if that's what happened there and him and Devin got into each other at all, it could have been, I hate saying this word, but it could have been possible neck code, and next thing you know, you've got a mysterious meatball that takes him out of contention tonight.
And still waiting on the report on what exactly happened, but this is now our battle for the lead. Devin Landry leading this race after clobbering the outside wall without Max Cookson losing the lead, falling back to the clutches. And now this is crazy to see what just happened with Max Cookson.
Yes, it is, and everything makes someone happy. And I can tell you this, Devin Landry is smiling ear to ear right now.
Well, it's not, always a racing equipment failure. Sometimes, because we're racing virtually, you're at home. Sometimes you forget something's on. You forget that you have to go get the mail or something. Well, driver report, Max Cookson supposedly left the toaster on, and so he had to pull it into pit road quickly to make sure that issue was fixed. So it's not always a mechanical error, but we might see the 39, and we are not going to see the 39. Max Cookson might be just calling it a night for himself, already 4 laps down. Zach, have you ever...
No, I've never left the toaster on, had to go get it before the house burnt down. That's I think that's a little bit more important than our virtual simulation race here. I don't know, man. That's a first for me.
So now that, Max Cookson, who was really just destroying everyone out here, and one of the fastest cars finally got a lead, was pulling away. It allows us now to see a different battle for the lead with Devin Landry and that of Corey Boobar, but we now watch this, which is the closest battle for 5th place. Tyler Jordan, Nathan Barth, they have not led off one another since the last time we checked on these guys. The only driver that's not with them is the 5. Looks like Dominic Carrick has been able to really clean up his driving. He's pulled away by over a half a second. But Zach, Jordan's got to be careful because Barth is pressuring, and that bump and run could be something to watch out. His 37's right on the back bumper.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect move to put right here. We're halfway through the race. Heck, why not? Give him a little bit of a bump. Let's see how he can react to it. A little play on words here. Back to the 39 cars incident. Max Cookson, can we say that he was smoking?
Well, I would say that he certainly was. Forgot that he was cooking. That's something that might have been the best way to go out with it. As Jordan continues to go on with 22 on his back bumper. But certainly, we're getting close to halfway. We'll, talking about the bump and run, it is always going to be a tool-less short track race, and we now see the 5 starting to get a little loose, going to give him an opportunity for Jordan here shortly. But Zach, it's always going to be, yes, you want to use that move, but when is it too soon? Because if you, give someone the bump and they still have an opportunity to catch you, you got to be careful of that. And also, if you cause that driver to wreck and the yellow comes out, you will get penalized with an end-of-the-line penalty. So there comes that risk and reward. But here they come. Once again, 3 drivers. This is for 4th now. 4th, 5th, and 6th on screen. It's going to be that of Kirk and the 5. Woo! The 22 of Jordan gets loose, and here comes Bart to the inside.
That bomb into 3. Oh, it didn't go the way I was expecting it to. So the 37 cars...
just playing so nice.
Yeah, I was expecting for him to drive a little bit deeper there, get into him, you know, run him up the track a little bit. I'm liking the 37 car's patience here. It's all about patience, keeping his car sort of clean after his earlier incident. It's a 3-car battle here for 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 37 car major save off of 2 right there.
Just getting a little bit too antsy on the throttle now.
Whoa,
There's the bump
is!
onto Tyler Jordan. Jordan holds on, but there goes Barth also getting by in an instant, just taking that aggression, and Jordan now falling back to 6th place. About over a second and a half or more back from Nathan Barth, and Barth better get running, because if Jordan catches up, you never know what the 22 might do to the 37 now.
I'm not sure if we call that a bump and run. I think that's more of like a dump and run. That 37 car, if I was him, I'd be praising the Lord that caution did not come out, and I'd be hoping and praying that I don't see one the rest of this race. I don't want that 37 car anywhere close to me for the remainder of the race after that.
It was such an odd time to do it, too, because Nathan Barth, I mean, just entering that last corner was not the best entry. I mean, he was very loose out of turn 2 and then just dives into turn 3. We'll see here if he wants to do a similar move to this of Dominic Carrick, but Nathan Barth, I mean, he certainly has to get going now, but luckily the gap over 2 seconds between himself and Jordan, so Jordan's got a lot of work if he wants to get that payback. But we're now 41 laps into tonight's race, as this is the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75 here for the Maine Sim Racing Series, presented by mainly Douglas Heating and Air. Watching the battling for 4th currently on screen, it's that of Dominic Kirk and Nathan Barth. 5 machine is currently in 4th. 5th place, Nathan Barth still trying to move up position where he qualified in 5th, but you've already seen 37 locking up the brakes and kind of taking out the 29, that of Tyler Jordan. We'll see if he has to do a similar thing here. Is the 37 up into the wall, but still carrying that speed.
And this is what we call reckless control. You know, you've heard reckless abandonment. That's whenever, hey, you're really reckless. You have no idea what you're doing. 37 car, he's reckless control. What that is he's driving aggressive, but he knows what he's doing, and he's able to minimize it and control it to an extent of where it's not an outrageous amount. He's able to whip that car into the corners and be extremely, extremely fast in a super late model because of that. So obviously 37 car, he knows what he's doing in one of these cars. I don't think he meant to get Tyler Jordan quite as hard as he got him. I think that was a little bit harder and in the wrong spot in the corner. Wasn't expecting for it to gain that sideways. But I do expect for the 5 car to maybe make that move again here, or the 37 car make that move again here before long. And the 5 car now, he knows, hey, the 37 car is not afraid to do that. That means I'm not afraid to do that to him. If he's going to do it to Tyler, that doesn't mean he wouldn't do it to me. If the 37 gets in front of the 5 and the 5's a little bit faster, turns into being a little bit faster, you have to worry about that now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing. I think when you look in the booth, I mean, up from our perspective, we're in the aerial view. We get to see, you know, different angles on how drivers ahead of you are reacting. And see there Jordan getting loose as well as Barth at the same time. But I think that's the big thing also for these drivers. I mean, in-car is so different, their point of view, and maybe they don't see the same opportunities that we do up in the booth. So that's why we're seeing Barth kind of go with a little bit more of a passive approach. And then the one time he gets aggressive, accidentally wipes out that of Tyler Jordan. And that might be why he continues to be a little bit more passive here, letting the race, trying to see the other drivers make mistakes so that he doesn't have to try to make those outbreaking moves that could potentially take out another driver, which that's always that risk to reward. Is that of Dominic Carrick's going to be going to the inside. A lot of very defensive move from the 5. And that of Barth continues to hold on.
Yeah, and the 2 leaders here, they're still within 0.3 of each other, still very close to each other. That number 12 car is really hanging on to Devin Landry more than what I expected. It makes me kind of question if Devin Landry didn't get more damage than what's visual from whenever he got in the wall there.
Yeah, I mean, Devin Landry still running up front and just getting word. Zach, we noted on the fact that tires could be a factor in why drivers come to pit road. Well, fuel as well could be a reason why these drivers come to pit road. Got to be watching out as pit stops, they are expected to be seen here. And with the extra time that it's going to take 4 tires and fuel compared to just fuel, this is going to be a strategy call on what drivers decide to take tires. As right now, being a little bit under a full second off of about a half second off is the pace of the drivers currently. So Zach, I think the big question is going to be, do you take tires or do you not? As more drivers calling it a night for themselves, as Dan that of Sand Oak in the 96, as well as Max Cookson, both going to be calling it a night. As here comes the 31 of Tyler Conley, going to be the first driver to hit pit road for fuel, and as well in front of him, going to be the 5 of Couric.
If I'm the 5 car, maybe I don't take tires here. I mean, it's an extra probably 15 seconds to put on all 4 tires. I don't see a point in taking tires here if you're the 5 car. You know, hey, maybe you get a caution later on, you come in, take 4 tires, and all of a sudden you're half a second faster on a short run where everybody's tight. If you don't, there's a decent shot you still win it because you're 20 seconds ahead of everybody. That did take time.
And also in now, you see the 82, Devin Landry, our leader, coming into pit road behind him. It's going to be Tyler Jordan, also Jacob Heathcott, and going to be that of Chris Fortier in the 23 into pit road. Tires, fuel, both for our leader as they're pulling out of pit road. And looking at all the drivers that have come in, the 5, you called it, maybe don't take fuel, 4 tires. I think he just went for 2 tires for the 5. Same for the 31. But Devin Landry going for 4 tires and fuel. We'll see what that of Corey Bubar is going to be deciding here as he's into pit road. Same for Ashton Burgess and Nathan Barth, all coming in.
And how much fuel do you take? These cars have a massive tank on them, and I mean, you can add 40 extra pounds accidentally here. So if you can not get that number down on the exact number of how many gallons you need to finish this race, you could save 2-3 tenths a lap right there off of weight alone.
Devin Landry was in pit road for quite a long time, and I think it's because he was caught speeding potentially. Devin Landry is a lap down, but he's going to be having that of other drivers ahead of him. I'm concerned there, Zach. The 82, he is now going to be not up front with our leaders. He is a lap down currently. As also, we're still waiting to see if Kyle Mooney, if he's going to have to come in or if he's good on fuel. Chris York still needs to come to pit road. And our brother out of Treadwell might be another driver that has to come to pit road.
Yeah, and I'm liking, I don't know, I don't count Landry out yet. If he did get caught speeding, he can still recover from that. He's obviously extremely fast tonight, and pull them gloves off, boy, and drive hard because you're going to need to.
Absolutely, and I'm looking at the last time these drivers came to pit road. Kyle Mooney, Treadwell, both came into pit road under our last caution. They're, I believe, going to be about possibly here about 15 laps shy of making it on fuel, but they're going to be close on if they've figured out a way to save fuel. Kyle Mooney's currently our leader. Chris York is going to have to come into pit road in second place in the 86. Is not coming to pit road yet. That of Brian Treadwell also in the same strategy as Kyle Mooney, our leader currently. Then it's Chris York. That of Corey Buvar and Carrick going to be in that of 4th and 5th place. It just came into pit road. They took tires and fuel. We'll see how the 12 of the 5 if they can start to catch up to that of Kyle Mooney or not.
Yeah, and the 90 car, he may have saved enough fuel here to where he may be able to go 65, 70 laps, and that opens the door for a caution. We've seen a couple single car spins here tonight. So if he does get a caution, all of a sudden you've trapped a bunch of guys a lap down, and you're going to have fresher tires than them. You're back in this thing.
We are also getting reports. Kyle Mooney, our leader, has 16 incident points. You have a limit of 17. So if the 90 at all brushes the wall, makes contact with another driver, or even loses control and goes into the grass, the 90 could get another incident point and could be disqualified from this race. So our leader has to be completely conservative, and based on the amount of laps we've seen Chris York go, gonna be very close on fuel is the 90 making it to the end.
And this could be a big role, because running 21 laps in a super late model around New Hampshire, completely incident-free, it's going to be challenging, especially if you can get into some lap traffic. This could be quite interesting on how this all plays out with the incident limit.
Chris York in the 86 now into pit road, one of the drivers that has not pitted at all today. Cal Mooney and Treadwell both came into pit road 42 laps ago, so we'll see what those front two are going to do. As you see the 82, Devin Landry, the reason why he is a lap down and back in 12th place, Zach just got word, too fast entering pit road, got a 40-second hold. That's why Devin Landry is not currently in a spot to win tonight's race.
Yeah, and that is an absolute race killer, season killer. You touched on it before the race. Probably has an average finish around 3.5. Devin Landry exiting tonight. It doesn't look like he may not get a top 10 tonight.
Yeah, this is a frustrating moment for himself, but the hard racing all over the track certainly is still there. Again, eyes are going to be on our front two. Have they saved enough fuel to win today's race? But if they have not, third place would be the drivers that have already come out of pit road and have done service. Corey Bubar, that Atomic Kirks, they are on top of one another. And it's interesting to see because, Zach, those two drivers, they are bumper to bumper now. Honestly, Dominic Carrick, who we've seen get into the wall, he could potentially see this race snuffed out. And don't look now, also behind them, Ashton Burgess going to be right there. So three drivers that have already come into pit road, all within a half a second of one another. They're banking on our front two to have come into pit road, but here comes the five. Dominic Carrick to the inside. We could potentially be a race-winning move if he can get by Corey Bubar.
And he is clear, and I touched on it before he pit. Hey, take two tires. That's going to put you right there with him, and look what he does. Takes two tires, and now all of a sudden he is in the catbird seat if these top two can't make it on fuel.
Ashton Burgess also going to come up. Slight contact between that of the X machine and the 12, and going to be pushing Corey Bubar back to 5th place. But with the pit cycle fully going through, could put the 12 in 3rd place potentially here. As again, this could be, if our front two come into pit road, the battle for the lead. As Carrick's trying to hold on, but behind him, and Bubar gets slidey. Holds the brake, yellow comes out. This race is not over.
And I would like to know if the 12 car did take tires on that pit stop or not, and if he didn't, you know, I'm not saying anything here, but Richmond 2013 could have just happened right there.
As we watch a replay of what happened, the 12 just got onto the throttle too soon. I'm going back and taking a look on tires if the 12 did do so, but didn't hit the wall luckily, but locking down the brakes with traffic coming by. And I did not see, went back, rewatched. I don't think the 12 did take tires. I think it just went fuel only for Corey Bubar. And that could be the reason why he was so off pace compared to the rest of the field.
He may not have expected for no tires to be that much slower. So now he's going to get to pit, take 4 fresh tires here, get that damage fixed that he had if his back end did scrape the wall. I don't think it did, but if it did, he'll have half a second of damage, whatever. Get that fixed as he's on pit road here, top it off with fuel, and we'll re-rack him and try it again. It's a 90 car stopping on the front stretch here.
Going to be stopping, waiting for the pace car to come by, I believe, is what Mooney is doing here.
Provisional red flag.
Yeah, there's the pace car, going to be letting everyone else come on by as the pace car, everyone else is caught up to it. And just trying to save fuel the best of the 90 can. Waiting and letting the field come on by. And into pit road, Corey Bubar, that of Brian Treadwell, also going to be coming in, getting some tires and fuel.
And this gives him this gives the 90 car a chance to pit here. The first and second place cars, that gives him a chance to pit here, take 4 tires and top them off, and all of a sudden we're all on equal playing field.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if Mooney is going to come in. The track position is so important at this point. And with the pace laps that are coming in, might give him just enough time to save some fuel to make it to the end. Because when we go green, it is going to be 15 laps to go for these drivers. But, Zach, short track racing, you never know when another yellow is going to come out. As Kyle Mooney, I think, recognizing that into pit road. And going to get some topping off with fuel and some damage repair for the 90 machine. Again, Kyle Mooney cannot get any more damage to himself or he will be disqualified from this race. So very important for the 90 not to make any more incidences. And now he's going to be back in traffic in the danger. This is going to be hard for Kyle Mooney to get back up front in the top 5. And as well, because he brought out the yellow, that of Corey Bubar is going to be getting himself an EOL starting at the end of the line on the next restart, which leaves us up front. Going to be the 5 of Dominic Carrick, Ashton Burgess, as well as Nathan Barr. It's going to be your top 3 with that of Brian Treadwell, Tyler Jordan, Corey Bubar going to be in 6th currently, but will fall back to the end of the line. Crazy to see where the drivers are lying currently. But, Zach, you never know what we're going to be seeing here, as a lot of drivers going to be taking the wave around, which Devin Landry will be back on the lead lap with this wave around.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the 5 car can do here on his 2 tires. He seemed to be faster than Ashton Burgess there on that little green flag stint that we had. Well, it wasn't a little green flag stint. The little green flag stint we had in between the time of being on pit road and this latest caution. He seemed to be faster than Ashton Burgess. Ashton's actually disappeared into the galaxy here, and he's came back from Mars now, back onto the racetrack. But I think that 5 car's got a little something for him here, and we may have us a new winner tonight.
The possibility of a new winner certainly is looming over us. I still have to watch out for, Devin Landry. He's already proven that he can go from last to the lead. We'll see if he can do that again, as a lap has been added for pacing here for these drivers. So they're going to be giving all the drivers that took a wave around time to then catch up to this field, which currently we have a total of 12 drivers still out on track. 11 of them are on the lead lap. Chris York's going to be 2 laps down, as we've seen a lot of DNFs and drivers calling it a night, as we've had 13th place runner, that of Matthew Murphy, Dan DeSanto, as well as Max Cookson, Logan Melcher, and then in 8th place that of Devin Greenleaf, Trevor Graffam, and in 20th, the last driver of the field, that of Ben Burgess, have all called it a night. Is Ed Conley still in pit road getting repairs done, but who knows if the 11's going to get back out on track for enough time to gain all of the positions back for the 11. As right now up front, it's going to be the 5 of Dominic Carrick, Ashton Burgess, that of Nathan Barth, as well as Kyle Mooney, Tyler Jordan, Jacob Heathcloth, as well as Tyler Conley, Chris Fortier, Devin Landry, and that of Brian Treadwell going to be your top 10, with Corey Bubar going to be getting that EOL penalty. And like we said, Chris York going to be 2 laps down. Zach, we're getting ready to go green. Only our front 2 rows going to be side by side because everyone else took the wave around. What are your thoughts as we're getting ready for our final 15 laps here tonight?
15 laps of excitement. All go. There is no holding back now. All holds barred. Let's go.
It's time to go, and oh boy, are the storylines there. The 37, the 22, they're going to be stacked up with one another on the inside, but it's going to be Dominic Carrick who's going to be getting a better launch for himself. Ashton Burgess going to be just lingering down, going to be finding some space. But you got to remember, the 37 did give the bump and run to the 22 earlier. Will it happen again with some revenge? It's Kyle Mooney. He's got fuel, he's got tires, and he's on the move. And also some other drivers behind. Corey Bubar, Devin Landry. They are going to be the drivers to watch out to carve their way through the field. But up front, it is all the 5. Dominic Carrick, Ashton Burgess out of 4. Coming to 14 laps to go. It's all the 5 so far.
And look at who is P3 and P4. We have a 37 car and the 22 about to be bumper to bumper here, and I don't think that's what the 37 car necessarily wants to see, especially after earlier. Not something he was looking forward to. Battle for the race lead into turn 3.
Diving it low, but had to get on the brakes a lot sooner, was Ashton Burgess not able to really fully commit to that dive bomb move. So it's going to be Carrick with a better launch out of the corner, but Ashton Burgess is finding a little bit more speed on the straightaway, and you threw it out there. This is kind of the super speedway of short track racing. With it being a mile in length, how long these straightaways are, the draft is a factor going down into turns number 1 and 3. So watch out for Ashton Burgess, also that of Nathan Barth, to try to attack that 5. As here comes Burgess to the outside, just a little bit too much speed, now giving an opening. Barth going to be right on the quarter panel, didn't get too big of a bump in our top 3. Still, single filed out.
Definitely not the move there for Ashton Burgess. He can't go to the top because the 37's going to pass him on the bottom, and he can't go to the bottom because he's, there's no room on the top. So
well, you
Burgess
might
is
see
kind
the
of
black
stuck.
and red. Watch out behind, because making the move for that fourth place position, Devin Landry, who went a lap down for a speeding penalty under green flag pit stops, took the wave around, now is up to fourth. The 82 is not done with tonight's race, as we're coming up to 11 laps to go.
And we did say earlier, do not count him out. We're down to 11 laps to go here. He's got plenty of time to get up there and get the lead. He's driving hard, pushing hard. Ashton Burgess said, hey guys, we need to go. We got somebody back here that's hungry and he wants to win bad. So Burgess, he's going to try to drive hard and get clear of the, he needs to hurry up and get clear of the five if he wants to win it here. Treadwell sideways.
Goes low, holds on. We stay green as that's off the racing surface. We go back up to the leaders as they are still, I mean, Treadwell certainly got loose. I believe that was on his lonesome. But our front four are on one another. 4/10 is the difference from first back to fourth, and they continue to be on top of one another. Adam Curran gets on the bumper, and Ashton Burgess holds on. There goes the flag. Overcorrects right into bars.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And Barth goes over the incident limit. He disappears, disqualified as a 37. The 5 overcorrects back into the field. And we take another look. Pulse Poppers instant replay. And Zach, we saw it, but that was all just pedal to the metal, like we said. You had to full send, and the 5 certainly did that.
He certainly did, and Nathan Barth is obviously the biggest loser there. His race is ultimately ended because of that. But that all goes back in his case, too, to, hey, maybe if he didn't bump and run, or, well, dump and run the that of Tyler earlier, then maybe he wouldn't have got an extra 4 accidents, and he would have had an extra 4 going into that. So it all goes back to, for him, to that certain situation where he did get the 37, or where he did get Tyler going in, or in the middle of 3 and 4.
Well, 10 laps to go now, and we go green. It will be 9 laps to go. Again, caution laps do not count, but another caution to the tally that we've had here tonight. Ashton Burgess, Devin Landry going to be your front 2 with Tyler Jordan, and also that of Corey Bubar going to be in 4th place, where we find also 32 of Jacob Heathcloth and others behind, just waiting and looming. My name is Sam Dyer. With me is that of Zach Taylor. I mean, Zach, it has been incredible to watch these drivers here tonight, as this is the finale of the Super Late Models Wednesday night regular season racing action. We got one more Wednesday here this season, but that's going to be the Late Models, February 23rd. South Boston for the Late Models is where we will be having their final race of their Wednesday series. Saturday's got 3 more races to go, as they're going to be at Daytona for the Daytona 500K on February 19th. Also for March 5th, going to be at that of Five Flags, and for that of March 12th at Oxford for the finale of their Saturday series. As more drivers calling it a night. Dominic Carrick's going to be parking it as well. Zach, thanks for joining us here tonight. I know this is your first time watching the Maine Sim Racing Series presented by Mainly Douglas Heating and Air, but I mean, it has been a good one, that is for sure.
It has definitely been an amazing race tonight. Obviously only 6 cautions, 75 laps, 6 cautions. Hey, we've only ran 30 of those under caution, and obviously caution laps don't count. So we have had 65 laps of green flag racing. Very clean race tonight for the most part. We've had a couple, our typical hiccups here and there. It's the Super Late Model League. What do you expect? These guys, hey, we're supposed to beat and bang, right? Supposed to go out there and tear the fenders off of them. So obviously a very clean race for a Super Late Model race, and it's just been an absolute amazing race, and looking forward to an even possibly a spectacular finish, if not an unbelievable finish at that.
We're going to have to wait for the report on this, but I'm keeping my eye also on the clock. When we go green, it's going to be 9 laps to go, but again, caution laps do not count. And time could be a factor if we see these drivers bring out a yellow each and every lap, as we got 10 minutes left on the clock for these drivers. So they have to make sure that we finish this race out green, or it could be a clock race for the end of the night.
We've just automatically turned this race into a rather endurance race, if you could say that.
And does not help, because it looks like they have now added another lap for pacing for these drivers for the field to catch up. So This is now putting them even closer because each time we are pacing, that is taking away a minute from these drivers. So when we go green, it is going to be less than 10 minutes of racing, as we are now down to just that of 10 drivers on track. They're going to be racing this one out here tonight. Certainly, if we have another yellow, could be pushing that down as the drivers are getting prepared. Ashton Burgess, Devin Landry, with that of Tyler Jordan, Corey Bubar, Jacob Heathcloth, got a Kyle Mooney, as well as Chris Fortier going to be your top 7. Ryan Treadwell and that of Tyler Conley going to be your top 9 that are on the lead lap, with that of Chris York going to be 1 lap down, waiting for another caution, and could be back on the lead lap is that of the 86, showing a lot of mental fortitude by that of Chris York, who was involved, I believe, in our 3rd or 4th caution of the night, was put multiple laps down, and has just been slowly waiting to continue racing. I think that's always what these short track series always show, are who are the drivers that maybe they weren't having the best day, but at least kept racing when they could have finished back in 16th, 17th position. They're looking for a top 10.
Yeah, and look, going forward in this race, hey, if it turns into a time race, somebody that doesn't mind that is Ashton Burgess. I'm not sure if he's faster than Devin Landry. Devin Landry's got a strong hand, and obviously it's been these two. It seems like it's been these two all season long from what I've heard. So it's not a surprise that it comes down to these two. But a timed race may be Ashton Burgess' best friend right here.
We're hoping Ashton Burgess can stop playing peekaboo on screen. He'll just stay solid. But for everyone else, they're getting ready to go green. And green flags in the air. And AX is going to wheel spin. Issues. Bubar's not able to get going, but Jordan will on the inside. Side by side for second. And Devin Landry, without even really trying, takes the lead. And watch out. There's the 32. Heathcloth's going to be diving it down low. Side by side for third out of 2.
Yeah, Ashton Burgess did not have the restart he needed. He actually falls all the way back to 3rd right there. That is not what he wanted to see. Impossible contact going into 3 there. If it wasn't, it was close. As we're going to be side by side for 3rd place off of 4 right here.
Tyler Jordan, who saw himself get dumped, now going to be in 2nd place after the helpfulness of yellow. Same could say for Devin Landry, who was a lap down. Heathcloth gets loose. Too much of a dive in the 32 lines it up. And that whole entire field has to back off. And now they're going to be 3 wide out of the corner. And just like that, Corey Bubar's now back up in 4th. But major lockup by the 32, and we stay green. 8 laps to go. Devin Landry is pulling away, but the battle for 2nd. Jordan, Jordan and also Burgess continues on. Will Corey Bubar be able to catch up with his 4 fresh tires?
Yeah, Devin Landry's just saying bye, 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 bye. Now he's singing that song, bye, bye, bye. As he's driving off into the sunset, the New Hampshire sunset here. Got a 2nd lead. As long as he doesn't spin it, he should have this locked up as 2nd place. It's really about for 2nd here. Ashton Burgess versus Tyler Jordan. All the way through 3 and 4. Burgess should be able to get him here in turn 1 if he can keep it side by side the whole way down the front stretch. Actually, he may clear him before we get to 1. He does. Major drive off, safe them back tires, and that puts Burgess up into 3rd, or up into 2nd as we have 6 to go.
Jordan's going to be flying right back with a crossover move out of the corner. Also reports further back. Now going to be finishing in 10th place is going to be that of Kyle Mooney, who was hit by another vehicle, and his race is done. We've got 9 drivers still out on track, 8 on the lead lap, and Devin Landry at one moment was that of finding himself 1 lap down after speeding into pit road. Devin Landry now finds himself leading this race by over 1.5 seconds. Ashton Burgess is going to be doing his best to move forward, but really, watch out for the 12. Zach, this is going to be the best opportunity for him to move up to 2nd, as Corey Bubar's got the best tires of those in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But with 5 laps to go, time is not really not a good factor for the 12, but it's feeling good for Devin Landry, our champion coming into tonight. He's looking great. 4 laps to go to try to go for another win in the super late models.
Yeah, and he's on the chip down there into 1. That car's going ba 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 all the way down into 1. He's got that thing wound up, and I believe Devin Landry's going to come home a champion and a winner in the same night.
It always seems like you come to these championship races, the last one. It always seems to be the driver that wins the race, also wins the championship on that last hurrah. And Devin Landry is trying to do that. Coming to 3 laps to go is the 82. Had to start all the way in last place after winning the last race at North Wilkesboro. And because of getting that EOL, you thought he was going to have to work so hard. He did. Had to fight with Max Cookson. Cookson had to dip out of the race to make sure his house didn't catch on fire, which then kind of gifted the fastest driver on track to the 82. He then got himself figured out how to get into pit road with a mistake, caught speeding, was a lap down, and now, after 2 yellows, has an opportunity to win here in New Hampshire. 2 laps to go. It's all Devin Landry.
And that's absolute perseverance, signs of an amazing race car driver right there. Obviously, Devin Landry has what it took tonight, had what it takes. He goes the extra mile, magic mile, I should say. And it looks like he's going to come home a winner. You know, it's this race he kept trying to get away from. He kept trying to get away from him. He just kept saying, no, this race is mine, this race is mine. And now with 1 lap to go, we can now officially say this race is his.
It's your CRN 1 to go. Go to wearecrn.com for more information. Watching all types of high school, college sports, and many others. As, oh boy, Devin Landry gets loose. Don't want to throw away the race. He's got 1 more corner to go into turn number 3. The 82, who's been dominating all 3 races Saturday, Wednesday. It doesn't matter. It's all the 82 of Devin Landry. And once again, victory lane goes to the 82 of Devin Landry in the championship as Jordan's going to be taking 3rd over Bubar.
And what a finish that was. What an amazing race that was. Devin Landry, your winner. 34 car, 2nd, and Tyler Jordan, after getting dumped, comes back for P3.
And the driver that dumped him, not even going to be able to finish in the top 10 as Nathan Barth got too many incident points and finishes back in 11th as 82. Devin Landry, who's seen this a couple of times this season, gets past victory by the finish line and finally gets to burn it down. Congratulations again, Devin Landry, going to be your Wednesday night Super Late Models champion for this in the Maine Sim Racing Series presented by mainly Ductless Heating and Air. Congratulations to that 82 team. And for tonight, I mean, what a race it was as we take a look at our unofficial racing results. Top 10 going to be Devin Landry getting the win with Ashton Burgess in 2nd, Tyler Jordan in 3rd. That of Corey Bubar is going to be finishing out in 4th with in 5th place going to be Jacob Heathcloth with Chris Fortier, Tyler Conley, Brian Treadwell. Chris York going to be 1 lap down, and Kyle Mooney not able to finish out the race after making contact. Going to finish in 10th place for the 90. Over to you, Zach, for the final rest of the order.
Yeah, Dominic Curd in the number 5 car is going to finish 11th, 10 laps down. Nathan Barth, the driver that got into Tyler Jordan there, finishes 12th. Matthew Murphy's 13th. Dan DeSanto, 14th. Max J. Cookson, who was very fast, obviously could have had something for Devin Landry if he would have been able to continue on tonight. Finishes 15th, unfortunately. Logan Melcher, 16th. Ed Conley, 17th. David Greenleaf, 18th. Trevor Graham, 19th. And Ben Burgess will round out the top 20.
And that's going to be your unofficial results here at New Hampshire for that of the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75. Congratulations to Devin Landry. We are going to step aside when we come back. It's going to be your top 3, Tyler Jordan, Ashton Burgess, and Devin Landry. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the post-race show here on LSRTV for the Maine Sim Racing Series, presented by Mainly Ductless Heating and Air. It was the last Wednesday night race for that of the super late models here, and it was certainly a wild, different race that I don't think any of us were expecting. We're going to be starting things off, going to second place, where we find Ashton Burgess. Ashton, you found yourself up front, had a great chance to win the race a couple of times. But then those late cautions came out. What was going through your mind when you knew you had 9 laps to go and you had to find a way to get by and hold off Devin Landry?
Yeah, I saw that he was coming, and I knew that he was quicker, and my tires were already worn. I only took rights and just couldn't get it to turn all night. But good for Devin. Congratulations on his championship. It was definitely a good race. Too bad Max had problems there. I'm not sure quite what happened, but would have been a great race between them two, I'm sure. And then I saw Corey coming, and I just wanted to make sure that I could hold off Corey. And I'm pretty sure I secured second in the points. So that was just my goal tonight. Kept it clean all night, got in the wall just a couple times. But overall, it was a good, clean night for the 34 car.
That it certainly was. Zach, do you have any questions here for Ashton?
No, not really. Just an awesome race tonight, man, and hopefully we'll see you next season.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Still got one more. We plan on making the Oxford 250. You guys should come check that out. Just thank you to everybody, Sean, all the sponsors of all the races this season, and it was fun racing with these Blues.
Absolutely. And Ashton, if you have any other shout-outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, just my mom, my dad for letting me do this. Started doing schoolwork. Integrity Pest Solutions, Probo Logging, One Wraps, Total Advantage, Sean, all the sponsors, you guys for broadcasting it, all these guys for making it fun to race with every week. And we'll be back next year and hopefully go get the Oxford 250 in a couple weeks.
We hope to see you there. Can't wait for it. That's Ashton Burgess in the 34, second place finish here tonight. And good luck in the upcoming races. As now we head to Victory Lane, where we find the man that we've talked to a lot this season, and we get to see what his thoughts are again. We got Devin Landry in the 82. Devin, once again, Victory Lane, but probably one of the oddest ways, I mean, besides North Wilkesboro, where I think that is the oddest way to win, but one of the odder ways to win here at New Hampshire, seeing one of your top competitors have to park it halfway through the race.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think he might have felt bad or something for putting me in the fence. I don't know. It's Max. But he said in Discord that he left his toaster on, which I don't believe him one bit. So, I mean, yeah, it was an awkward race. I said at the beginning of the race, just like last race, I'm not losing because of pit stops. And what do? Speed down pit road. I had it won anyway. I shouldn't have sped. I don't know what I was doing. I played my cards correctly, and I just screwed it up. Made it harder on myself, I guess.
Certainly, it was an odd moment for us as well. We were surprised by it, but hey, late cautions came out, gave you another chance. What was going through your mind, knowing that you had to take the wave around, but you still had an opportunity to win?
I took 2 tires, so I knew my car was fast. Gave it more grip, means I was getting more straightaway speed, so I was able to kill him down the straightaway. But the problem with that is you're just hitting the chips so early. But I mean, you're just able to drive underneath. So I had a feeling if I got a wave around, I had a really good chance to win that race. And all the cards played out. Got lucky.
And Zach, do you have any questions?
No, just, hey, awesome season. Congratulations on championship, and we'll be seeing you next season.
Oh, yeah, of course. I will be here next season, that's for sure.
I mean, Devin, last question for you before you can give thanks to your sponsors. I mean, you are now officially the champion of the Wednesday night super late model series. You've also been leading the points in all the other ones of the late models on Wednesdays and also Saturday, the Saturday series. How has it been feeling being really the top dog that everyone's trying to get to?
It's a weird feeling because I started this league, I ran 2 seasons, and I never won a race. But then once this car came out, I just started grinding, and I found what I need to be on. So it just shows that time gets you somewhere. I mean, yeah, I put a lot of time in, but I still have a life. I have a full-time job now since I graduated. I mean, I do everything. Go to the racetrack every weekend during the summer. So it's not really a no life thing. I mean, I have a life.
Yes, and Devin, congratulations again. And before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
I got to shout out Reaper Speed Labs. Became an SK builder for them today. So be on the lookout for that. It should be fun. PDM, Pull Down Motorsports. You guys for broadcasting. Sean, of course, for putting on the league, man. He puts a lot of time in. It's unreal. And my parents for letting me do it.
Well, tonight, Devin, it came official before the race even went green. But again, congratulations. You are the Maine Sim Racing Series Wednesday night Super Late Models champion. Congratulations on winning the award. And have a great rest of your season on all the other races that we've got coming up.
Thank you, Sam.
Well, Zach, what a race it was. Surprising to see Max Cookson parking it after a toaster incident, so it became really all on Devin Landry. But then he found himself getting caught speeding, had to come back from that mental mistake. Luckily had 2 cautions to allow him to really come back. Man, what was some of your final thoughts here tonight?
What a race it was tonight. Tons of passing, tons of battles. We saw contact. We saw controversy. We saw toasters being left on and houses almost burning down. I mean, what was something this race did not have in it? It was intense. It was exciting from flag to flag, and I was just so thrilled and so happy that I was able to sit here and enjoy it with you. And hopefully, next season, whenever this series comes back, hopefully we get to call and we can experience a full season of amazing short track racing from these guys.
I hope so, too. Thanks again, Zach, for joining us on tonight's race. Again, John Mushin Jr. was not able to join us. We cannot wait to have John back. But, Zach, you did a great job coming in and covering. I cannot wait for your next broadcast here on LSRTV. But for tonight, thank you for everyone joining us. This was, again, the last Wednesday race of the Maine Sim Racing Series for the super late models. But the late models still have more races coming on later this month. But for tonight, big congratulations, Devin Landry getting the win here at the Beach Ridge Barbershop 75, as well as winning the championship for the super late models on Wednesdays. Thank you for joining us. More racing action throughout the week, starting off with tomorrow, going to be Thursday, going to be more of the Speed Week challenge for these drivers. You've got that ARCA at 8 p.m. Eastern, as well as the trucks. And then Saturday, 5 races for Speed Week, and a race on Sunday, and as well, going to be a race on Wednesday for Speed Week, as well as we're going to be having NASRA and LTAC Friday night. Cannot wait for more racing action. If you want more of it, remember to subscribe. Join us on LSRTV. We've got so much more for you. Big thanks for Zach Taylor joining me. My name was Sam Dyer. Thank you to